Hey everybody, Mac here. We're going to work on slope-intercept form, but on this one, the equations aren't going to look like y equals mx plus b, which is what we want to get to. And remember, m is your slope, and remember, b is your y-intercept. Now, on this one, we're not going to actually graph them. We're just going to come up with the equation. If you look at a previous video where we had the equation, we knew how to graph it. We're going to assume that you know that. What we want to do is we just want to get you to that equation. So let's start by looking at number one right here. So now, if I want it to look like this, what do you notice? The y is on the left and everything else is on the right. So let's look at number one. The y is on the left, but so is the 2x. I want to get rid of it. Now the 2x is adding to the y. I'm going to subtract the entire 2x, not just the x. I'm not going to divide by 2. If I divide by 2, the x is still there. I want to move everybody, so I'm going to minus 2x on both. And I'm going to get y equals. Now, you can't mix a 7 and a 2x, so you could, don't do this, this is me just doing a demonstration, 7 minus 2x is how we probably would normally write this. But if you look at the formula right here, the x value is next to the equal sign, so it would look better if we just switch these guys around, which we're allowed to do. And so the way we're going to do it is we're going to put the x value next to the equal sign, and we're going to write minus 2x. And what kind of a 7 is it? It's a positive 7, so we write plus 7. And that is actually the way we're going to want to do this, okay? Let's take a look at number 2 right here. Okay, so we know we want the x on the right, so I'm going to go minus 3x, and I'm going to go minus 3x. Now, this one's a little tricky because it's a negative y, but you know what? Just write down negative y. We didn't do anything with that negative, so we have to copy it. Equals, and I said put the x next to the equal sign, negative 3x plus 12. This looks like y equals mx plus b, but that negative 1 is really killing us. Now, on this one, I'll show you. If I divide everybody by negative 1, look what happens. Negative divided by a negative, now I have a positive y, equals negative by a negative is a positive, and a positive divided by, this should be a negative 2, sorry, is going to be a negative. And that's going to be my answer. If you notice, all we did by dividing everybody by negative 1, we just switched the signs. So now here comes another question. Are you allowed to switch signs in an equation? And the answer is, if you switch all of them, you are allowed to do that. And the reason why is because you're dividing by negative 1. So the next time this comes up, we're just going to switch all the signs. And now because we did number 2, you know why. All right? Let's take a look at number 3. Well, I know the first thing to do is to get the x over to the right. So I'm going to subtract x on both sides. Okay, they die and left with 2y equals, and I'm going to write it as negative x plus 10. All I did was rearrange the furniture. We're close, but I don't like that 2 in front of the y. The 2 is multiplied, so I'm going to divide him by 2. Here's the big thing people sometimes forget. If you divide one term by, and remember, term is anything separated by a plus or minus, sorry for all that. If you divide 1, you have to divide everything. And then here we have 3 terms. All 3 get divided. And so once I do that, I get y equals, remember, that's like a 1 in front of the x, right? Negative 1/2 x plus 5, because 10 divided by 2 is 5. Let's go on to number 4. First step is to get the y's on the left and the x's on the right. These are all written in what we call standard form, okay? And we're going to learn standard form later. But I always find that if you have a standard form, a lot of people like to graph off of the y equals mx plus b, so it's a little better to do this. Now, what do I have to divide everybody by? A negative 2. Not a 2, but a negative 2. That's going to give me y equals negative divided by negative is a positive, not a plus, but a minus 4. Okay? 5, let's rearrange some furniture. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. And I'm going to get 3y equals, right next to the equal sign, negative 3x plus 15. And once I divide all 3 of them by a positive 3, I'm going to get y equals negative x plus 5. And if you were asked to graph that, you would just do the y-intercept at 5, and you would do a slope of negative 1 over 1. Okay? Let's go on here now to this side. All right, this is another one that's similar to number 2. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides, and I'm going to get negative y equals, remember, write this next to the equal sign, negative 5x plus 9. Am I allowed to change everybody's sign? The answer is, yeah, you are, because we divide everybody by -1. Take a look at what we did there, okay? Let's go on to number 7. I'm going to subtract the 4x. Again, we're just rearranging furniture. 2y equals, now don't write 16 minus 4x, write -4x plus 16, because it follows the formula better when it looks like that. It's not wrong, but we're trying to get it to look like the formula. And as I solve, it's going to look like that. And if I graphed it, I would do a y, and let's just do this. I'm going to call that 8, boom, boom, boom. And I go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, and I'd get a graph. We don't need all that. But that's what I would do if we were asked to do that. Number 8, I want to move the x's to the right. So I'm going to subtract 6x to both sides. And I'm going to get -3y equals, right next to the equal sign, -6x plus 18. Now I'm going to divide each side by a -3. Boom, die. Y equals negative divided by a negative is a positive. And if I do this, I'm going to get a -6. If I were to graph it, I would put a -6 at the y-intercept, and I go up 2 over 1. Remember, we can always do these as fractions. We should do them as fractions, okay? On this one, I'm going to get 5y equals -2x plus 20. Got to get rid of that 5, so I'm going to divide all 3 of them by the 5. Y equals -2/5 x plus 4. Plot your 4, go down 2 over 5. That's an ugly 5. Let me make it prettier. There we go. Okay, and the last one, I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides. -y equals -7x plus 14. Now, just switch everybody's side. That's all you have to do. Boom, 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 boom. And we're done. Okay? So that's basically it, everybody. I really hope that you that helps you out, moving things around. And so again, these were called standard form, and we're going to learn later about standard form. But if you just go, I'm good, I really prefer to do y equals mx plus b, which a lot of students do. That's how you rearrange it so it looks like that. And then you would just graph, and I have videos before this that kind of show how to do it. So again, if you need more work, go to maxtutorials.com. And again, if you can like and subscribe this video, it would really help me out. But I really appreciate you guys being here. And I hope Slope Intercept makes a lot more sense to you now. Take care, guys.